Dear students, welcome to the chemistry class number 109. We are studying the electrochemistry. Under that, today we are discussing about electrolysis and electrolytic cell using electrolysis. We know that electrolysis is a process of decomposition of electrolyte. What is electrolysis? Decomposition. Decomposition of electrolyte. Decomposition of electrolyte by the passage of electric current, by the passage of water, electric current. So external voltage gets. So therefore, electrolysis is a process of decomposition of an electrolyte by the passage of electric current. That is called the electrolysis. And this electrolysis process is carried out in a cell which is called the electrolytic cell. What is electrolytic cell? Electrolytic cell is a device in which electrolysis can be carried out. What is electrolytic cell? The cell in which electrolysis can be carried out. What is electrolysis? Decomposition of an electrolyte into its constituent elements by the passage of electric current is called that is electrolysis. That means by the passage of electric current means by passing the external voltage, let us say. That is called the electrolysis. Now, let us take the typical electrolytic cell you see. Let us take a typical electrolytic cell. So, electrolytic cell consists of a small, that is two electrodes, actually, two copper strips, let us say, two copper strips. So, this is one copper strip, this is another copper strip. Copper strip or copper rod. So this is also copper strip or copper rod, let us say. So this one is taken as positive and this one is taken as negative. And in this cell, we are going to put electrolyte solution. So here for our consideration, it is nothing but acidified copper sulfate. Acidified copper sulfate. Acidified copper sulfate solution. Okay. So that means you see decomposition of an electrolyte into its constituent elements by the passage of electric current is called as the electrolysis. We know that. And so after that we see, so this is a experimental arrangement. So this is one cell you see, this is that is cylindrical vessel, let us say, small vessel or beaker, let us say, in which we are going to take acidified copper sulfate solution as electrolyte. It is electrolyte. And this is copper strip, this is also copper strip, and acidified copper sulfate acts as electrolyte. On passing electric current, what happens? Electrolysis takes place. So this that means you see here electrolysis takes place in such a way that we see. So there is at anode and cathodic reactions takes place. You see. That is a chemical reaction takes place in such a way that that is reaction takes place at cathode and anode. So generally we taken as so they are positively charged electrode is taken as an anode and negatively charged electrode is taken to the cathode. So that is at anode oxidation takes place. Generally, at anode oxidation takes place. So that is what is oxidation takes place? That this copper rod dissociates. You see, this Cu dissociates, giving copper ions and two electrons. And at the same time, you see, at cathode, what happens? Following reaction takes place. At cathode, reduction takes place. You see, reduction takes place. So what is that? Copper ions takes to the electrons, reduced. Copper ions are reduced to copper. Copper ions are reduced to copper. So this is oxidation, this is reduction. So this here the copper rod enters into the solution as copper ions. This copper rod enters into the solution as copper ions, liberating the electrons. And at the same time, the copper ions will This is the electrons and deposits on the cathode. You see. So this is deposits on the cathode. So as copper metal. You see. So therefore this is dissociation. This is association. That means it is oxidation. This is what reduction. Okay. So this is the net reaction is nothing but you see. So you can remove this. That is Cu. That is Cu2 plus Cu2 plus Cu. That means you see oxidation reduction takes place in such a way that so there is a copper metal is entered into the solution as copper ions and the copper ions are reduced to copper. So that means Cu is raised to Cu2 plus and Cu2 plus gets reduced to copper. That is how we can write. Okay. So this is a typical that is electrolytic cell in which electrolysis takes place. You see, electrolysis takes place by passing electricity, by passing external voltage. You see. So that is how we can write the anodic reaction as well as cathodic reaction. Generally, oxidation takes place at anode and reduction takes place at cathode in the electrolytic cell. So this is the typical electrolytic cell. Now, products of electrolysis. Next guys, we are going to take product of electrolysis. Products of electrolysis. I am going to take products of electrolysis. What is this products of electrolysis? So we know that you see electrolyte can be subjected to electrolysis, so that you will be getting the product. But which are the products obtained during the electrolysis? So that is the question. Generally, the products of electrolysis, for example, you see when that is NaCl is subjected to electrolysis, we know that Na plus water, Cl minus, that is sodium and chlorine gas at anode and sodium at cathode. You see sodium metal at cathode. So here, this products of electrolysis depends upon the material to be electrolyzed. Material, which type of electrolyte is to be taken, this material to be electrolyzed, and it also depends upon the type of electrolyte we are going to take. The type of material which is used, that is electrolyte used. Electrolyte, that is material to be electrolyzed, that is the material to be electrolyzed, that is the first dependent. Second one is electrodes, type of electrodes used. So that is products of electrolysis depends upon two factors: the electrolyte or the material to be electrolyzed. Second one, type of electrodes used, which type of electrodes we are going to use. So here we know that the electrolyte to be used, it may be strong electrolyte, weak electrolyte, like that is. But type of electrodes means, what is this type of electrodes? Generally, electrodes may be inert electrodes, or active electrodes. So electrodes used may be inert electrodes like platinum or gold, like this you see. Inert electrodes are nothing but the platinum, gold, like that. So during the electrolysis, if inert electrodes are used like platinum and gold, so these inert electrodes does not participate in the electrolysis. Remember, during electrolysis, if you use inert electrodes like platinum and gold, they does not participate in the electrolysis. Then what is the function? But they are acts. They are used for the source of electrons. You see, they are used as a source of electrons. You see, so for the flow of electrons, they act as a mediator. That means they act as the source for electrons, flow of electrons. So that is the inert electrons. So if active electrodes are used, they are of course participate in the that is a chemical reaction, like that is the electrolysis of copper sulfate or sodium chloride, like that. So here you see, so that means two types of electrodes are to be used: inert electrodes as well as active electrodes. Okay. So after that, let us take the examples for electrolysis. Examples for electrolysis. So first one I am going to take the electrolysis of fused NaCl, or molten NaCl, molten or fused NaCl. What is the molten or fused? So it is not the solution. It is not the solid state. So semi-solid like a substance is called the fused NaCl or molten NaCl. What happens when that is fused NaCl or molten NaCl is subjected to electrolysis? So here, so when that is a fused NaCl is subject to electrolysis, so the products obtained are, so that is chlorine gas at the anode and sodium metal at the cathode. So how actually that is NaCl gives rise to Na plus Cl minus. It is nothing but ionization. You know that ionization of source. So next at anode, what happens at anode? At anode that is Cl minus. So minus 1 electron gives rise to half Cl2. Or you can write Cl minus with half Cl2 plus 1 electron. You can write. That is or Cl minus gives rise to half Cl2 plus 1 electron. Like that you can write. Okay. So this is that means chlorine gas at anode. So next, so this is nothing but anode means oxidation we see. What is oxidation? Loss of electrons. Oxidation. Gain of electrons is called a reduction. So that means one electron is lost by Cl minus. Therefore, we will be getting chlorine gas. This is oxidation. So next, at cathode, what happens at cathode? Product of that is Na plus. This one Na plus 1 electron. You will be getting sodium. Sodium metal is discharges. Metals are discharges at the cathode. Gases are liberates at the anode. Remember, gases are liberates at anode and metals are discharged at the cathode. So therefore, during the electrolysis of fused NaCl or molten NaCl, what are the products you form? Chlorine gas liberates at anode and sodium metal discharges at the cathode. Understand? So that is the products formed during the electrolysis of fused NaCl. That is the products formed during the electrolysis of NaCl are, that is chlorine gas at anode and sodium metal at cathode. Okay. So next, coming to the next electrolysis you see. So that is electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. Remember aqueous NaCl. That is NaCl solution. That is NaCl solution. So what happens when aqueous solution of NaCl is subjected to electrolysis? That is aqueous solution of NaCl is subjected to, that is sodium chloride solution is subjected to electrolysis. What are the products formed? So here remember the products formed are, first one is chlorine gas, second one is hydrogen gas, third one is NaOH. So these are the three products formed during the electrolysis of aqueous NaCl solution. Aqueous NaCl solution on electrolysis gives how many products? 3. Chlorine gas, hydrogen gas and sodium hydroxide. So how actually you see? Let us take the reactions of these. So we know that you see in aqueous medium, that is NaCl gives rise to Na plus Cl. This is now that ionization in the solution. Water, but we know that we see H2O also. We know that sodium chloride dissociates in water. So therefore, in aqueous medium, water is also dissociates as H plus OH minus. H plus and what? OH minus. So here, what happens you see? So generally we know you see. So positively charged ions move towards cathode and negatively charged ions move towards anode. So that means you see. So this is Na plus H plus. So these are positively charged ions move towards cathode, negatively charged ions move towards water. Anode. We know this is towards cathode. But remember, the discharge potential of hydrogen, that is discharge potential of hydrogen, is greater than discharge potential of sodium. So therefore, hydrogen liberates at that is And then at anode you see, at anode that is even though Cl minus and OH minus move towards anode, only Cl minus ions will discharge as liberates as chlorine gas, but not OH minus ions. So because you see discharge potential of chloride ions is greater than that of OH minus ions, so therefore chlorine gas that is E naught of Cl2 is greater than E naught of H2O. So therefore chlorine gas liberates at anode. You see anode chlorine gas, cathode hydrogen gas. But this OH minus and this Na plus ions does not discharge at all. Therefore Na plus OH minus you will get NaOH. That is Na plus from this and this plus OH minus you will get what? NaOH. The products are NaOH, Cl2 and then what? H2. So these are the three products formed during the hydrolysis. So for this you can write the equations also you see. So at what happens, that is at cathode you see. That is at cathode you see. I'm going to write cathode first. At cathode that is sodium you see. So you can write this sodium that is Na plus 1 electron you will get it Na. What is the electrode potential? That is E naught is equal to that is minus 2.71 volts. Minus 2.71 volts. So for the discharge of sodium. At the same time, that is Na plus and H plus you are going to take cathode. H plus 1 electron you will get it half H2. So here E naught is equal to 0.00 volt. 0.00 volt. So that is the potential development during this reaction. That is cathode. That is reduction. Cathode reduction. Sodium ion is reduced to sodium. Hydrogen ion is reduced to hydrogen gas. But the reduction potential is 0.00. It is minus 2.71. Remember, 0.00 is greater than minus 2.71. So therefore, E naught of H2 is greater than E naught of sodium. So therefore, this reaction is preferred. Which reaction is preferred at the cathode? H plus 1 E usage of H2 is preferred at cathode. Remember, so this is the reaction to be taken to be consideration at cathode. Net reaction at cathode is nothing but H plus 1 electron uses the of H2. At the same time, that means you see what is the net reaction at cathode. So we know that you see that is H plus 1 electron gives rise to of H2. This is the first reaction. H2O, that is H2O gives rise to H2O that is gives rise to H plus OH minus. H plus OH minus. So dissociation. So this is the net reaction at cathode. Net at cathode. So if you cancel this H plus, you will get in H2O plus 1 electron. You will get in of H2 plus OH minus. So this is the net reaction at cathode. What is that? H2O plus 1 electron of H2 plus what? OH minus. So that is the net reaction at cathode. If you take anode, you see, so that means Na plus and OH H plus towards cathode you see. Therefore, I can write all these equations. Net reaction at cathode is H2O plus 1 electron. That means you see at cathode what happens? Na plus and H plus transpose. That is Na plus 1 electron Na. So you know that E naught value minus 2.71. But H plus 1 electron of H2, that is it is raised to hydrogen, but E naught value is 0.00, which is greater than that of minus 2.71. So therefore, E naught of H2 is greater than E naught of sodium. So that is a greater E naught value is to be preferred for the reaction. So therefore, you see, hydrogen ion into hydrogen is to be taken into consideration for reduction, and so therefore you see net reaction at cathode is H plus 1 electron of H2. H2O gives to H plus OH minus. H plus cancel. H2O plus 1 electron you will get of H2 plus OH minus. Therefore at cathode you will get in hydrogen gas, and OH minus will be as it is. Let me come to the point afterwards. So next at anode you see what happens at anode. At anode you know that. So which are the two ions we have? That is Cl minus as well as what? OH minus. At anode we have Cl minus as well as what? OH minus. So here you see Cl minus. That is this ion Cl minus that is minus 1 electron, you will be getting half Cl2. And we can write the E0 value for that also. This one, that is half Cl2, that is plus 1.36 volts, plus 1.36 volts. But if you take the water dissociation, that is 2H2O, that is 2H2O gives rise to O2, so this O2 plus 4H plus 4 electrons, 4 electrons. You can write this equation like this, you see. So that is 2H2O gives rise to O2 plus 4H plus 4 electrons gives rise to, that is E0 value you can write 1.23, you see, 1.23 volts. But 1.23 volts is less than 1.36, therefore E0 of Cl2 is less than E0 of H2O. Therefore, this equation is to be preferred. Which equation? Cl minus 1 electron gives of Cl2 is to be considered. So therefore, what is the net reaction? Net reaction takes place, you see. That is that cathode is that is Cl minus that is minus 1 electron of Cl2. So now, after that, we can write that means you see this equation to be preferred at that is anode, that is Cl minus is reduced to that is oxidized to chlorine gas. Why? Because at anode oxidation takes place. Remember, at cathode reduction takes place. Okay, I have told already. So now you see you can write the anodic reaction as well as cathodic net reaction of the electrolysis. Net reaction of electrolysis. I can write the here net reaction of electrolysis. Net reaction of electrolysis of NaCl, NaCl. Okay. So that is, you know that this is NaCl gives rise to Na plus Cl minus. It is nothing but ionization, you know that. Ionization. So next one is H2O gives rise to that is half H2 plus OH minus. You can write this. That is H2O means minus means what, right? 1 electron. H2O plus 1 electron you have to write. H2O plus 1 electron you have to write. So then we will get half H2 plus OH minus we have. And after that this one Cl minus this one. So this is the reaction ionization of NaCl. So this is for hydrogen you see H plus OH minus gives us to H2O. You know that you see here. H2O gives us H plus what? OH minus. So therefore H2O plus 1 electron half H2 plus OH minus. And the second one is Cl minus gives rise to half Cl2 plus 1 electron. You can write this. So you can cancel the common term from both sides. 1 electron cancelled, and then Cl minus cancelled. Okay. So next NaCl plus H2O you will be getting NaCl H2O this side half Cl2, this one plus half H2, second one plus Na plus OH minus, Na plus OH minus you will be getting Na. So these are the products of hydrolysis. Products of what? Hydrolysis. That is how we can write the net reaction for electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. For fused NaCl, it is very simple. Chlorine gas at anode and sodium metal at cathode. But for aqueous NaCl, you have to write all these equations. Remember? So even though in the aqueous solution of NaCl, it contains Na plus ion and Cl minus ion, H plus ion and OH minus ion. Even though Na plus and H plus ion move towards cathode, only H plus ions will discharge at the cathode but not Na plus, because discharge potential of hydrogen is greater than that of sodium. That is E0 of H2 is greater than of Na. That is discharge potential. Remember, discharge potential. This potential is called the discharge potential of hydrogen is greater than that of sodium. What is discharge potential? It is the potential at which the metal is to be, that is discharged at their electrodes. That means you see, discharge potential is the potential required for the metals to discharge at their respective electrodes. This is the potential at which the metals are discharged at their respective electrodes. That's all. Or elements are discharged at their electrodes, not metals. Elements are that is discharged at their electrodes, respective electrodes. So therefore you see that is even though He plus H plus ions move towards cathode, only H plus ions are reduced to hydrogen gas, but not the sodium, because you see E naught discharge potential of hydrogen is greater than the discharge potential of sodium. Therefore only hydrogen gas liberates at that is cathode. Next, at anode, even though Cl minus and OH minus ions move towards anode, only Cl minus ions are oxidized to chlorine gas, but not OH minus, because discharge potential of chlorine is greater than that of discharge potential of that is water. So for this reason, only chlorine gas liberates at anode, hydrogen gas at cathode. So after that you see this Na plus and OH minus ions in the solution, which are not at all that is discharged at anywhere else, will react with each other. Na plus OH minus, you will get NaOH. And the mechanism of this reaction is like this. You can write like this. Okay. So these are the electrolysis in the example. First example is electrolysis of fused NaCl. Second example is electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. Third example is sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid. We can write the electrolysis of dilute sulfuric acid. Third example, electrolysis of dilute sulfuric acid. We know that you see dilute sulfuric acid contains much of water molecules. That means dilute sulfuric acid contains excess of water molecules. Therefore, you see, if water molecules are more in the sulfuric acid, we can consider the dissociation of water itself. So therefore, we can write that is 2H2O in the 2H2O gives us that is in dilute solution of sodium. We can write dilute solution of sodium. So we can write that is O2 plus 4H plus 4 electrons. 4 electrons. That is 2H2O gives us O2 plus 4H plus 4 electrons. And we can write E naught. E naught of this is 1.23 volts. 1.23 volts. So this is how we can write the electrons of dilute sulfuric acid. What are the products for? So this oxygen gas is liberated and hydrogen, oxygen at the anode and hydrogen at the cathode. You can write like that. And then fourth one is electrolysis of concentrated sulfuric acid. Concentrated H2SO4. So we know that this is in the concentrated sulfuric acid, water molecules are very less. Very less, and sulfuric acid molecules are more used. Highly concentrated solution contains does not contains any water molecules. Therefore, sulfuric acid dissociation takes place here. You will be getting that is H2SO4 gives rise to that is 2H plus SO4 2 minus sulfate ion as well as hydrogen ion formed first. And this sulfate ion again 2SO4 2 minus ion you will be getting S2O8 2 minus. This is thiosulfate. Sorry, tetrathioate sodium, that is tetrathioate ion, S2O8 ion plus 2 electrons, plus 2 electrons. But E naught, if you take this E naught is equal to that is plus 1.96 volts. That is 1.96 volts. That is sulfate ions on that is reduced to tetrathioate ion, and you will get 2 electrons. And E naught value for this reaction is 1.96, but it is 1.23. So that means in the concentrated solution, that is electrode potential is more, in the dilute solution electrode potential is less. So this is how we can have the electrolysis and electrolytic cell and the products of electrolysis. That means you see products of electrolysis are different with different that is a material to be electrolyzed. Sodium chloride, sulfuric acid, aqueous sulfuric acid, fused NaCl, concentrated sulfuric acid. Depending upon the electrolyte we are going to electrolyze, products are different. That is how we can have this that is electrolysis and electrolysis. Let us meet in the next video.